And this morning, the Secret Service faces new accusations that it is ignoring potential security risks. A study this month called for major changes after a string of incidents, including a fence jumper who got inside the White House. The agency's newest headache centers on the use of untrained drivers. Critics already targeting the Secret Service says that practice is unsafe. Bill Plante is at the White House and has seen this long-standing practice at close range. Bill, I know we've ridden in a lot of these motorcades together. Good morning.
Yes, indeed. But if you've never seen a presidential motorcade, it's how the president usually gets from Air Force One to an event. It's 24 or more vehicles zooming through closed-off streets at 40 to 60 miles an hour, and it can get pretty hairy. Trust me, I've been in dozens of them. But here's the thing that I bet you didn't know. Some of the drivers are students, local party volunteers, or just people with friends in the White House. In August of 2010, Elson Trinidad received a call from the White House offering him an opportunity he didn't even know existed.
She said, Elson, the president will be in town next week. Would you be interested in becoming a volunteer motorcade driver? And I kind of froze for a couple of seconds and I said, what?
A Los Angeles city councilman recommended Trinidad to White House staffers. A week before President Obama arrived in the city, he went through a full background check and was told that he couldn't tell anyone what he was about to do, and he had no idea what to expect.
We were told to get in the vehicles and start the engines, and then we saw the helicopters descend from the sky, and before we knew it, there was a group of people, the door was opened, and a group of people from the White House press pool came in my van, which was called Wire One.
For 2 days, Trinidad and other volunteers chauffeured White House staff, press, and local dignitaries around the streets of Los Angeles. Former Secret Service agent Dan Emmett calls it a security risk. He recently told the New York Times, "We were more concerned with that than an attack on the motorcade."
In terms of it being a concern for the protection of the President of the United States, I just don't see it.
Former Director of the Secret Service, Ralph Basham, defends the practice, which he says has gone on for more than 4 decades.
The President is in one of the safest places anywhere, perhaps even including the White House when he is in that vehicle. Plus, he's surrounded by agents and follow-up cars and spare vehicles.
The Secret Service says that while volunteer drivers transport staff and press, the president's limousine and the security vehicles which surround it are driven by Secret Service personnel, and that safety is not an issue.
The president, we could put him in a lead box and put him, 6 feet under the ground. I mean, he'd certainly be protected, he'd be safe, but he couldn't go about the people's business.
Okay, so what if something happens, an attack of some kind? Well, Basham says that the president and his security, which the Secret Service calls the secure package, would peel away, leaving the rest of the motorcade behind. The Secret Service says, hey, it's not responsible for the staff or the press. So the rest of us, well, the rest of us would be out of luck. Nora?
All right, Bill, thanks.
I have to ask you, though, with all your years of experience, you must have known that this was happening in the motorcade.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the motorcade can be so many cars long. I mean, and 80 cars. And, always while there's a volunteer that's driving the press, there's a Secret Service agent sitting right next to that driver. So there's also always a Secret Service agent assigned to the press pool. So
someone's always there in case.
Just grab the wheel.
Yeah.
what can you do? You're in a motorcade,
It's true.
Yeah. Anyway.